I'm it.
Alright, so if you are partaking in my YouTube channel,
Okay.
then you obviously have some interest in homelessness, the unhoused, mental health, or substance use, or the correlation of the three there. Blah. So I haven't been posting much because I haven't found either inspiration or the content which I find that I have had viable enough information and interest to talk about. But right now, I'm listening to stuff, and I suddenly think I have something that I don't just want to talk about that I think is actually of importance to get out and for people to listen to. I live in the state of Maine. I have been unhoused for a few months shy of 3 years. I lived in the capital of Maine, the city, and I have lived for quite a while now in a smaller town. My partner here, soon to be married. We're happy. And I moved down here because life in the capital was getting dangerous and scary. And I'm not just talking about substance abuse, which I'm now in recovery for, but I'm talking about authoritarian figures. I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about ordinances and pushback against unhoused simply for existing. Now, what is going on in the media right now? What is going on in the news regarding those who are suffering from homelessness and its subsidiaries? The Donald Trump administration, this is big news, and I hate even to say his name, God forbid I give him a press release, but Donald Trump has given the powers that be executive permission to take those who are unhoused who suffer from either A, mental illness, B, substance use, or both, and permission to forcibly take them and put them into treatment. And so what this is doing is this is saying, you have the power to fuck with the homeless and the most vulnerable population in the country. You have permission to take them and remove them from public view and do with them as you please. These people have no rights. Their constitutional rights are over. They are no longer treated as even like secondary U.S. citizens. They are now treated as similar to animals. Basically, their rights are gone. They are not people.
They're
dehumanized. No, not dehumanizing. They are dehumanized. And so my initial thought and continuous thought is, what does this mean for the future? This is obviously the start. Everything starts somewhere. This is where it starts. People who are in a situation where we are not just seen by authority figures and jails and governments as, weak and fuckable with, but middle class people, anybody who has a job and pays taxes, as we are just unsightly and don't want to be seen. We don't follow rules. We don't pay taxes necessarily. We don't buy into your capitalist society policies. And where is this heading? And this is where I'm scared, because this is now the pretext for a authoritarian regime that is not been. Our president, now in his second term, has not made it a secret that he desires a deeper, higher, and more blatant level of control than the U.S. president has ever been given executive power of. So, for someone who has a tyrannical approach to government, a histrionic personality disorder, and an elitist mindset, somebody who believes that money itself is enough to claim you're better than anybody else, to take the people that don't use money and say, well, they don't matter, that's a start. Now, I believe that Adam and I are financially, we are mentally, we are physically and emotionally in the most safest place we can fucking possibly be. We have found a way to exist out, not just outside the system, but away from society, around, but where we can find us safely, where we are taking care of our means. We know what's up. We know how to take care of ourselves. Being unhoused in itself is old news to us. We're more like off-the-gridders now. And if we can help anybody else, we can, but we take care of ourselves in a very democratically socialist way as possible. We say, hey, if you have money, we don't, can you help us out? And they do, more or less. Or we do things like we'll take care, we'll find maternals, walls and cans. We have found alternate means to live. I have been in substance abuse recovery for quite a long time. Don't let my slim demeanor I'm seeing here fool you. I don't eat enough. But no, I've been in recovery from opiates for 2 years now, and I've been in mental health recovery for a long time. I'm in the system. I'm on good meds. I have a good psychiatrist. Adam here is taking good care of himself. We're gonna get married soon. Fuck the social norm. We're gonna be getting married. Not just unhoused, all those things, but that too.
Can't fathom that we would be happy in the lifestyle that we're living.
No. We've had some, not police pushback, but some police presence, basically like with a raised eyebrow saying, how on earth are you guys happy? Well, we are. And so when and if the Trump tyranny says that I'm going to have a pseudo-monarchy takeover here, my authoritarian demeanor regime shit isn't enough, and I'm going to basically say I'm going to use the military as my own personal police, which is kind of what he's doing. Well, for one, Maine, we're in probably the safest state to be. We're in the safest mental state to be. We know how to take care of ourselves. We know how to hide, blah, blah, blah. But people are not safe. The most vulnerable population that has ever existed in America, a long time, still does, and in many ways today more than ever because the substance use shit is rampant. These are people that, and when I lived in the capital, I saw a 11 p.m. curfew be stipulated onto the local park after the homeless warming center closed. And within 1 or 2 months, I saw over 20 people get no trespass for violating that. That no trespass warning was issued along with if you violate this within 1 year, you are liable to be arrested. I saw many people be arrested simply for being in a public park. Again, because they had prior after 11 p.m. So now they're arrested. That's just kind of let that sink into your mind for a minute there. This is 2 years ago. And this is this is when Biden was president. So let that sink in your mind and say that is how legal and okay it has been for the unhoused to be arrested just for putting their big toe somewhere, literally. And now they're saying that you can walk down the road and this is possible. I don't think I'm in too much fear here in my state, in my town. I have a notoriety with the local PD for being respectful, and I'm being treated with that for the most part. Let's get that with a grain of salt. If you're listening, don't. I like it too. But the point is that if you're homeless, watch out. And if you're not homeless and you give a fuck, care about these people because they're vulnerable and they're gonna get hurt, and they very well might. This is not a joke. This is not just me being haha. This is really serious shit, and I'm actually very worried. If you live in a bigger city, especially, it's always in the bigger cities where this stuff is more prevalent. The small towns, homelessness is very low compared to a city. It's just how it is. Urbanness is.
However, though.
Thank you, Adam. Please chime in. Yes, thank you.
At the same time, though, smaller towns like the one we're in
safer.
But also heavily gentrified, and that does balance it out slightly. That's a small.
The image, man, the view, the stigma.
That is a factor that makes it so that we all are also.
For those of you who are terminologically unaware, gentrification is the buying out of properties, buying out of lower quality properties by those of higher income means, doing whatever needs to be done to raise the rates on them and selling them only to those who can afford bigger rates. So basically saying, hey, y'all who rent poor, I'm taking your property from you and saying only people who can afford more can rent it now, and y'all are fucks. And that's the cause of most fucking homelessness nowadays. So it's a big fucking cesspot It's a big cesspool. It's a big pot, mixing pot of all these reasons that people are getting fucked because they're poor. Sorry for my vulgarity.
I feel like the business owners, not all, but some business owners, they're the ones that discriminate the most against the homeless. They
the cops just carry the means. Okay, the police officers, they might have their own personal orders, but they don't do shit unless they're ordered to. These are the foot soldiers, the people with the money.
I would definitely agree with that, but I would say though that while we have been given a lot of respect by the police, and it is
kind of on the surface level.
I would say the past couple of encounters have been a
undertone
lot less
threatening.
civil.
Undertone threatening. We know how to handle
And
it.
ridicule.
We know how to handle it. We don't. You don't let that shit get to you. They're ridicule. You imagine their police officer, their home life is going to be. Imagine what their life off the clock is like. It's got for us to be a nightmare.
I'm not afraid to say it.
Even being living a life of a cop is terrifying. So the thing is that things are getting dangerous. So just watch your asses, okay? If you're poor in general, watch your ass.